Welcome to Arabic Today. I'm your host Fallad Demman, coming to you from Algiers, capital city of Algeria. الدرس الخامس عشر. أثر معجمك. Lesson 15. Expand your vocabulary. So far, we have learned a bunch of nouns, verbs, and particles, along with the morphological features. Now it's time to expand your vocabulary and build on your own your first layer of basic words. For that purpose, you will need a dictionary. And if you want to be more efficient, you had better use one or more learning methods. In this lesson, I suggest some free online dictionaries. There are many available on the net, but most of them are not verified by linguists. Those suggested in this lesson seem to me fairly reliable as far as basic vocabulary is concerned. I also suggest two methods for learning new words. But if you are more comfortable with other methods, feel free to use them. Just keep in mind that if you want to make progress, you will need to practice regularly. To begin with, let's get acquainted with some helpful dictionaries and their main features. The Cambridge English to Arabic Dictionary includes vocabulary for beginning to intermediate learners. You can search for nouns, verbs, or common expressions. If the search term is a verb in the infinitive form, it outputs the Arabic verb in the huwa imperfect form. But remember that the huwa perfect form is the one that is generally used as equivalent to the English infinitive. So if you want the perfect form of the verb output, you will need to use another dictionary. For instance, the one we are going to see in the next slide. The dictionary also browses phrasal verbs and related words, which helps you learn even more vocabulary. Wiktionary, the free dictionary of Wikipedia, is a multilingual dictionary written by volunteers. You will need to use the Arabic to English module. The section of the dictionary devoted to Standard Arabic is in a large part a digital version of reliable printed dictionaries built up by Western Arabists. The dictionary is still under construction, and certain words are not listed yet. It provides, among other content, the conjugation table of verbs and the declension table of nouns, preferably input without L. The Arabic Ontology is an Arabic wordnet. It is searchable in both languages, English and Arabic. It allows to retrieve definitions, translations, and morphology features of Arabic terms. However, it accepts only singular masculine nouns and verbs in the huwa perfect form. Google Translate is an automated tool that allows multilingual translations. It translates words, sentences, and more. It seemed to me fairly correct with indeclined nouns and non-conjugated verbs. But since the translation process is machine-based, it could be safer to combine it with an English to Arabic dictionary to cross-check the translation. Arabterm is a technical dictionary which allows translations from English to Arabic and vice versa. It is useful for searching for specialized terms which may not be found in general dictionaries. The interface is user-friendly, so you don't need any practice to get used to it. Now that we have secured some free dictionaries, I suggest to you two methods to enrich your vocabulary. Method 1. Make lists of common words and use them in simple sentences. How? First, make lists of English common words and their collocated nouns and verbs. In the following, I will propose 2 options for making such lists. Then, use Cambridge English to Arabic Dictionary or Google Translate to find their Arabic equivalents. Remember that you can learn more vocabulary by conjugating a verb, putting a noun in the feminine, dual and plural forms, and affixing verbs and nouns with the attached pronouns. Then, and that is very important, make simple sentences using as templates those seen in the previous lessons. I insist on making sentences because by forming simple sentences, you use the words in context and habituate your mind to the sentence structure. Now I suggest to you 2 options for making word lists. You can choose one of them or both, or a combination of the 2. The first option consists of grouping words that often appear together. The second option recommends the use of an online resource, the English Vocabulary Profile. Let's see how to proceed in more detail. In the first option, you make your own lists of words related to everyday topics. You can do this using a picture or a diagram of collocated nouns and verbs, as illustrated by the examples below. In the second option, you can avail yourself of the word lists of the English Vocabulary Profile online. There, words can be sorted by topic, class, and level of language ability. Once you have recorded some collocated nouns and verbs, you can try and make simple verbal and nominal sentences, as shown in the examples below. In these examples, and using the diagram of collocated nouns of the verb fataha seen previously, I conjugated the verb and put the nouns in the plural. Then, I made simple sentences following the examples of the lessons 4 and 11. فتحت النوافذ. هذا باب. When trying to make sentences, don't worry about knowing how to determine the right ending vowel of the nouns. These are governed by syntax rules, an aspect of the language study which we have not covered yet. Here are 2 other examples inspired by the sentences of lessons 5 and 13. هذا كتابك. تلك كتبي. أخذ زجاجته وكتبه ثم خرج. Method 2. Read a marked text and search for the words in the dictionary. For example, you can read one of the following stories for the youth. شارة الشجاعة الحمراء. نداء البرية. هايدي. حول العالم في 80 يوما. Robinson Crusoe. All these stories and more are freely available at the link below. When parsing a text, try to memorize the frequent words. And keep in mind that particles are always indeclinable. Only verbs are preceded by قد, سوف, كي, لن, أن, لم. Only nouns are preceded by prepositions في, على, من, etc. Nouns often appear with ال, تنوين, تاء مربوطة. Learning new vocabulary through reading may be laborious when you are a beginner, because you will have to search for every single word in the dictionary. The good news is that in time, you get used to the most frequent words. Moreover, you will learn the vocabulary in context, which helps you memorize it more efficiently. Finally, it may help to know that Arab children read exclusively marked texts during primary school with the help of a teacher. They build their vocabulary progressively in a repetitive process. So be patient and try to learn different words to form a basis on which you can build safely. Understand the structure of words and sentences at an early stage. This will save you a lot of time and pain. And that was the last lesson of this level, devoted to the classes of Arabic words. I hope you found it helpful. As for me, I will see you again in future series to pursue with you your Arabic learning journey. Until then, goodbye and happy studies!